The topic? UFOs. Socialist joke or evangelical existential crisis? The answer, tonight on Now See This Here Now Then. Hello, I'm Richard Cranium. Tonight on Now See This Here Now Then, the on-again, off-again phenomenon of make-believe real sightings of flying objects that go unidentified, and the really real, maybe they're real, wishy-washy acknowledgement that they really do maybe not exist. But first, have you ever noticed the round nature of a square? Has there ever been a time when you were able to squeeze a square peg through the round hole using a sledgehammer? Has your know-it-all friend who watches Star Trek tried to convince you that a square is just a square and a circle is just a circle? Well, fear not. Scientists at Fisher-Price recently concluded that there is nothing to suggest that squares have to be square. They can be any shape they want to be by simply choosing to do so. Much like the Earth, who after centuries of believing itself to be round, decided it was flat. Or that space, for millennia had been a vast open nothing, decided not to exist at all. Or Tucker Carlson choosing not to be a bow tie. All of these things show the important realization that change in nature can be attained if culture allows it to happen. Unlike the sledgehammer effect, it must be done delicately and patiently without extreme force. So thank you, Fisher-Price. You've taught us all a very valuable lesson in shapes. UFOs. Unidentified flying objects. The very term is problematic to begin with. For example, the other night when my lovely wife Vacant threw two shoes at me, the first one was unidentified as it flew past my face in a blur. But it led me to understand the second object as it objected to my right jaw, becoming instantly identifiable as the other shoe. As a culture, we have defined the term UFO as aliens, something of science fiction, or to understand more clearly, UFO is equal to the otherworldly visitors who have come to piss Will Smith off while he's on his holiday. What really are UFOs? To be as accurate as we can be, we don't really know, hence the unidentified. We know that they can be all kinds of shapes or sizes, or maybe they aren't. They could be from another planet, or maybe they're not. We think they exist, but maybe they don't. We are certain that they look a lot like weather balloons and swamp gas on a stormy night. Or maybe they don't. The controversy that surrounds UFOs is pretty simple. People say they see them, and the government says that those people don't see them. What happens when the government is the one seeing them? Recently, the Pentagon announced that in fact they have been seeing them, and for quite a long time. They've been keeping tabs on them, or maybe they haven't. Observe Exhibit A.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. My gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. That's not our LNS though, is it? It's not. That is the LNS, dude. Well, if there's like... Look at that thing! It's rotating. Nickel 6-1 Tango Logic, over. Oh, got it! Woohoo! Roger, there's troubleshooting. Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, dude. Wow, look at it fly!
To me, that looked a lot like an unidentified Tic Tac. The other problem with the UFO issue is the overwhelming nature of the narrative surrounding them. From Hollywood's love affair with the demise of Earth under the cruel regime of man-eating lizards, to the stylish comedies of Mork and Mindy and Third Rock from the Sun, to the infamous War of the Worlds broadcast where Orson Welles sealed the deal for his Citizen Kane. Each one of these promotes different ways to interpret what alien life would look like and how it could try to communicate with us. There's even the sexual renegade James Kirk, who sleeps with women of all the colors of the rainbow, proving that he was woke before his time. There's also something curious about that which we do not know. In different cases, UFOs have been blamed for abductions, which could or could not be just a simple drunk blackout on the wrong farm in Missouri. What is often unnerving is the same tale that most of these abductees share, and the tools they regularly explain were used on, or rather, in their anus. Why aliens find our shitter hole so interesting is one of life's most interesting puzzles. It's really the conviction that abductees have in recounting their experiences that is the most disconcerting, which leads to the unsettling question of did this actually happen to them, or is the acid going brown again? On top of all this is the conspiracies. Conspiracies that the government is covering UFOs up. Conspiracies that the government cover-up is fake to lead us away from the real conspiracy. The conspiracy that the real conspiracy is that we got the tech from aliens in the past and are slowly learning how to use it, leading to the conspiracy of the cover-up to cover up the fake cover-up that is covering up the original cover-up of the picture from 1950 of a man and a cow simultaneously getting an anal probe from Lucille Ball. Where's Mr. Will Smith's rage now? What helps these conspiracies to perpetuate themselves is the multifaceted narratives that are tied to them, like the crop circles, government release film, official documents that really don't officially say anything, and of course, the idea that aliens are among us as lizards dressed in human skin. Gross. Observe Exhibit B.
In simple terms, there is a predator race which take a reptilian form. They're feeding off humanity. They've turned humanity into a slave race. They demand human sacrifice. That's where Satanism comes in. They feed off human energy, particularly feed off the energy of children.
David's latest revelations have been about the moon. Far from a lump of benign rock orbiting us, it is in fact an artificial construct, a gigantic spacecraft, probably a hollowed-out planetoid. It is from the moon that the nefarious Illuminati manipulate the collective human mind, warping our perception of reality.
I'm saying it's broadcasting something, that it acts as a blocking frequency that stops us seeing and perceiving things that we would normally perceive. That is creating what I call the moon matrix or the Saturn moon matrix, and it's basically having the effect of the fake reality in the Matrix movies.
According to Ike, the Isle of Wight is a world within a world, with Freemasonry and Satanism at its center. The ancient ley lines scoring the landscape make it a powerful spiritual hub. I think the plan is he's going to show us this stone, which is part of a old stone circle. It's the main one where apparently satanic rituals happen on a regular basis. So this is a place here then where you think these rituals, or you know these rituals?
These rituals definitely go on at this place up here.
Is this?
It's called the Long Stone. In fact, there's two stones. One's on its side and one's standing up, and it's a beautiful walk this direction.
Let's go. After you.
Cheers,
sir.
mate. It opens out eventually, and you get a fantastic view. It's interesting when you look at the traits. This is mainstream science. When you look at the traits of what we call the reptilian brain, reptilian genetics, which we all have. One of the traits is an obsession with ritual. Obsession with ritual. It's like every day you go through the same ritual. It's repeating.
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
Obsessive compulsive disorder, yes. So when you look at all the pomp and ceremony of the royal family, you know, with Buckingham Palace and all this stuff, and all the ceremonies and the guards and the horses and the colours, you're looking at ritual.
I don't know what is more unnerving. The fact that people believe this or that lizards would choose to be human. In our fractured reality that we currently find ourselves in, UFOs present a wonderful side note in the chaos that envelops our lives. The dangerous other that we have never met, but have seen their marks from a momentary visit here or there, continuously piques our curiosity. The real story of the UFO narrative is the dark nature of human fear and what we are afraid of. When E.T. does come to meet us, will he be cute like an Ewok, or will he gobble us up like a Rancor? We don't know. But there's something I personally am certain of. If they had been coming, I don't think they would waste their time eating us. Any advanced civilization as that would know that we are very high in fat. It reminds me of something my wife Vacant told me the other day, when she said, "Richard, fetch me my gun. I'm going to try to kill you now." The aggression that woman has is breathtaking. What I am also convinced of with the aliens is that if they have visited and are observing us, I don't think they would be waiting all this time to launch an invasion. If they wanted to take us over, they would have done so long ago, before Will Smith could plan a blowout July 4th party with a stripper and her son. It seems pretty obvious to me that any tech we deem desirable would be more akin to infant toys for them. Who in their right mind would invade a planet for squeaky ducks and fake keychains? Are UFOs real? Most certainly they are, if you are talking about objects that can fly and we can't identify them. Are UFOs alien life? Well, when it is in the air, a bird is an alien to the ground in some sense. So yes, by not being on the ground, I would qualify them as being alien to dirt and grass. Should we fear them? Only if you are afraid that your rectum might prove to be too juicy for an unidentified flying green lizard to pass up. Otherwise, no, I don't think we should fear them. But that seems to be the largest issue we have as a culture. We fear the other, the thing we do not understand. We fear it, and we do what we can to eliminate it. History is full of human beings destroying their lives of the other in an attempt to allay our own fears. In this current cultural moment, the other represents that which we fear we cannot control or respect. And so we are wiping it out at every turn without gauging the consequences of our actions. I can only hope that if Chewbacca decides that he should reach out and bark at us, that he should think twice. A bark at the wrong people would deem him a racist. And we all know Chewbacca doesn't see color. He's a dog. He's literally colorblind. And that's all for this week. Join us next week when we look at book bags, socialist hipster accessory, or evangelical dad bag. You decide. For now, I'm Richard Cranium. Ta-ta.